Hi everyone, it's Amanda. I'm one of the technicians here at Lowell Animal Hospital to talk to you about dog training and socialization. Okay, so I have a couple questions here I'm going to try and answer. When should my dog start obedience training? Right away. Even as puppies, they're so smart. Positive reinforcement, I'm just going to throw that out there, is definitely the way to go. Negativity, yelling, stepping on their feet, choking them, choke collars, things like that, just really aren't recommended. I only say choke collars because I would say 90% of the time people don't use them correctly. But yes, positive reinforcement. You give them a treat. It doesn't have to be something big. It can even be a hot dog. I love using hot dogs. I like to cut them up in super tiny pieces. Remember, they have great noses, so they know that that little tiny piece of hot dog is worth any kind of work they have to put forth. I like to toss it in a microwave after cutting them up really small. And microwave them for about 30 seconds, and they turn like these little rubber pieces, and they're perfect for like just keeping a baggie in my pocket and just rewarding any positivity that is going on with them. Let me see. What are the most important basic commands my dog should know? Sit, stay, heel, and off. Off is a good one. We want to make sure that they understand that no means no. How can I socialize my puppy? Well, prior to vaccine series, having neighbors come over, kids with loud noises, any kind of loud noise. Fireworks may be a little bit extensive, but I mean, if you've got a kid that has a drum set, have a puppy in a room with a drum set, anything, have somebody show up in a costume. When I would do puppy classes, I literally dressed up as a giant chicken, feeding all these adorable puppies hot dog treats. It was fantastic. And then someone would be in the corner banging pots and pans, and the puppies would just be wagging their tails. Same with adult dogs, but you just go a little bit slower. You never know what especially if you rescued them, you don't know what their history is. You don't know where they came from. Loud noises may be a trigger for them. So you start off slow. But those are some ideas that you don't have to dress up as a chicken or anything, but those are just some ideas. Maybe you wear a baseball hat. Some dogs are fearful of baseball hats for some reason. Let me see. Should my dog be punished for bad behavior? I kind of already went over that. No. They don't recognize negativity. They just don't react well to it. It breeds fear and aggression in their lives. Stick to the positive reinforcements if you can, especially if you, I mean, always, but especially if you rescued or adopted a pet. You just never know what kind of history they had, and you just want to take things slow. And always positive. Treats, I mean, they'll do anything for whatever treat you find out is their favorite. Stay away from cheese, though, because it just tends to have a lot of fat in it. Some people like to use cubed cheese. It's just too fattening for them. A little bit of cubed cheese is like giving them a whole cheeseburger, so stay away from that. You don't want pancreatitis. That's the technician in me going down that road, but we'll try. I'm trying to stick to the paper here. Is my dog too old to be trained? They are never too old to be trained. If that brain is still working, they are so smart. You can train them. You train them where to go to the bathroom. Unless they have some sort of cognitive issue, they're never too old. You go ahead and train them if you want them to go potty in a different area, or if you want them to stop jumping on somebody. There's always room for training and behavior modification. What should I look for in a dog trainer? That's a good question. The trainer should be asking you a lot of questions. If they're not involved in keeping you informed and getting to know your dog specifically, find one that will. Trainers should be certified. They should be able to give you training because you're really the one that needs to be trained the most, not just your dog. Do not expect to take your pet to a trainer and have them trained and then not have to work with them later on. It's work, and if you're consistent with it, the program works and it's fantastic, and you'll have a very obedient pet for the rest of his life that will be able to stay safe. And let me see, what vaccinations are needed for dog training classes. I don't know specifically what is needed. Each training facility will probably have their own protocol. But what Lowell Animal Hospital probably recommend at the least is rabies, the distemper vaccine, which has distemper, hepatitis, parvoparinfluenza. If you add the lepto, that's fine. And then there's the Bordetella vaccine that is obviously very important. So that's what we recommend. What is environment enrichment and how can it help my dog's behavior? Environment enrichment is just a way to keep your pet kind of happy and satisfied at home. It's basically treat motivated toys that they can play with on their own. If you hide a treat, you don't need to buy these specific toys. If you Google it, there's tons of things that you can buy for environment enrichment. But I literally just toss some cookies under a rug sometimes, and they'll sniff it out and find it and be pretty excited about it. One of my favorite environment enrichment toys is like a Kong or maybe a bone marrow that's stuffed with peanut butter, things like that. But if you do Google it, there are some pretty crazy, cool treat hiding environment enrichment toys that you can get. So, well, I think I covered the questions on here. If you do have any questions or concerns regarding socialization and dog training or any kind of trainers that you need recommendations to, you can always give us a call and we'll be happy to do that for you. Thanks.